Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. How's everybody's night going? How's everybody's week going? Shout out to the folks in the chat. What is going on? Make sure you all hit the like button, hit that subscribe, share this channel out with everyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. I got a special guest here with me tonight. I got my guy, Russ Morgan from the On Deck Baseball podcast. Russ, how's it going, man?
It's going good, NFE. Thanks for having me on. Besides, obviously our Yankees playing like straight, excuse my language, ass right now. But we do have baseball, so you gotta just try to knock it out and watch some other baseball. But it's tough right now. But besides that, jumping on, you get to talk baseball with people. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, no doubt. No game tonight. So I think we could, we all could use a break from watching the Yankees, especially with the way they've been playing for over the last month. It's been some very disappointing baseball. And I'm at I don't know about you. I'm at a little bit of a loss, man, because they started out the season really well. It seemed like everything was going according to plan. They were cruising. Then seems like it happens every year. The month of June comes around and they're they had a shaky June so far. The month of July has not been kind to them either. They just lost the series against the Blue Jays. They lost 2 out of 3. At least they didn't get swept this time around, but it still doesn't help because they're 4 games behind. I'm not going to say that the team they're in there's time to panic, but it's still concerning the way this team is playing. But I think there's a lot of factors against them. I think the injuries have really, obviously the injuries have piled up for them, especially with pitching, because the pitching has been the problem. And as of late, the defense has been the biggest problem. What do you make of this, man? Like, what do you what are your thoughts from watching the games? Because I know you're watching the games.
I'm watching and driving myself nuts. I'm I would say more of a pessimistic sports fan than an optimistic sports fan. I am a Jets fan, so I do have a negative view on things. And being a guy who I played baseball all the way through college. I coached high level high school baseball. I coached a number of guys who made it to minors, a couple who are in the minors now, and one's in the pros. I scouted high school and college baseball. I'm not surprised. I knew there was kind of going to be coming in. I was like, I knew there was going to be a little slump. This 162 games, I knew it was a little too good to be true. I knew Judge couldn't continue to hit 400. I was like, Max Fried's going to have some issues, but and I'm not trying to get on. I get on Boone a lot. I'm not a fan of Andrew Boone. Even though I'm a younger guy, I am not analytical. I'm more an old school guy. I don't like the launch angle and all this spin rate. I know there's a part of baseball that needs the analytics, but I think they play it too much. So, I knew coming in we had problems. Even to the year, they didn't identify the issues we had. We had a solid outfield, but we didn't identify third base. Jazz, who I think did a serviceable enough job for a guy thrust into that situation, but he's a second baseman. And I'm done with the love of Volpe. I get it. I think when he's playing good defense, he's good enough to be a guy on a roster. But the bat, from a guy his first year, he was like, okay, it's his first year, but his glove's really good. Then he started improving with the bat and showed some hope, and now it's just like the bat. When I'm looking at it, he's top 5 of the qualifying batters in the MLB. He's got the 5th worst average. And then he's tied for the most errors of all shortstops. You can't really have that if you want to be winning World Series. Unfortunately, they're kind of in like tied them in a bad situation. There's nothing you can do about it now. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. I think they'll be able to turn it around and make the playoffs, but hopefully something happens at the deadline NFE because they need something to shake up that clubhouse.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the game plan is. Obviously, you're hearing about all these news and rumors. I mean, the deadline is kind of like the offseason. There's going to be a lot of news and rumors, and this report is saying this report is saying that. There's a lot of like clickbait stuff. But before we continue, and I forgot, I should have said it in the beginning, but if you want to, you told folks a little bit about who you were just now. I mean, for folks that don't know you, if you want to just tell them a little bit about yourself, just your love for the sport, how you fell in love with the Yankees, and
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm over. I do On Deck. It's on Finstock Sports Network. I talk all 30, so we talk every team. We got, the network started in Miami, so I'm the only baseball pod on there. Everything's mostly football. A lot of Dolphins fans, so they hate me, but I hate them too, so it's all good. And it's at the end of the day, it's just sports. Like, exactly. I can get, like I hate your sports teams, but I mean, I don't hate you as a person. It's just sports. But so did that, got into that. I'm actually from Southern California, but my dad is from Yonkers, Bronxville, New York. He went to Roosevelt High School. And I always, it's growing up with, playing baseball. My dad never forced it on me. Could have easily go be a Dodgers fan if you want. Lakers fan, no. Hell no. I never want to be a Lakers fan. But, it was just like, you got two paths. You either go with your family's team or your hometown team. And I went with my family's team, and I fell in love with the Yankees. It was good when I was a kid because they were winning a lot when I was young. And, I got a lot of you're a front runner because I'm from California rooting for the Yankees. And then I say, well, F off. I'm a Jets fan. So,
right.
But and don't get me wrong. I mean, I get it. I love being a Jets fan. I think I love the Jets. I'm an AFC guy, but I mean, growing up when they were winning, it's like you're a front runner. I'm like, no, the Yankees are my team. You got two teams. You have no sports teams. So I'm a Yankees fan. I wear a Yankees hat when I'm following baseball. I'll root for other players when I'm there. Guys I've scouted, guys I've coached, but I root for the Yankees. But driving me nuts for the last couple of years.
Yeah, no doubt. And how long have you? Just let everybody know how long you've been doing podcasting. What made you want to do that?
So the baseball. This is our second year. I do. I've done 4 years of college football. So I did a couple with my buddy. It was called Touchdown in Paradise. Me and three of my friends from California. Now I do College Blitz on whenever we can go on because my co-host Q, who you met, he's a firefighter, so he's got a crazy schedule. So been doing that. And Bobby, who's my producer, wanted to get baseball. Found out I worked in baseball. I was like, I love talking baseball. It's all good, can't complain. Scouting's a tough world to get into, and if you did play baseball is a very insider game. And yes, I played college baseball, but I never played pro baseball. So breaking into that is very tough. And as you know, just because you played professional baseball doesn't mean you could be a good coach or a good scout. I mean, it doesn't really work that way, but it is definitely tougher. But got that opportunity with the podcast. I'm like, I just love talking baseball. I'll talk any team, not just the Yankees. I love talking the Yankees because I mean it's my team. But I'll talk everybody else. If anybody wants to talk another team, we can go that. But Yankees is number one for me.
Absolutely, and I always tell folks in here, because I get subscribers that support other teams, which is fine. Because I always tell folks, I was like, all fans are welcome. Yes, I do talk mostly Yankees baseball on here, but I'll talk other stuff baseball too. That's not a problem for me. And I love having other fans that support other teams because I want to get their insight as to, what they think about their team. Whether I don't care if it's Red Sox, Astros, Mets, you name it, Dodgers. I don't, it don't matter. So I have subscribers that support other teams, and I'm always curious to know how they feel.
I was doing like during the off season was just doing like team by team. So I did a Red Sox episode. My other co-host, he was a Red Sox fan, so I was doing it with the Red Sox fan, and he had some stuff going on. He wanted to take a break. I was like, fine. Sure. He jumped on, and we're talking. I know a lot about the Red Sox, probably more than the Red Sox fan. The guy goes, Russ, you're a Red Sox fan. I'm like, no, I just know the team. I know the team really well. I hate the Red Sox, but I mean, I'm not a Red Sox. I mean, I guess that's good for my case because that means I could talk other teams, but I'm not a Red Sox fan. I just know your team very well, and I do love prospects, as you know, because you were on my draft, the live draft, which was a lot of fun to have everybody on there, and was a little disappointed, as you know, not with the player. I just had other guys in mind, and if you know anything about the MLB draft, is super hard to predict. I threw out like 5 teams. Marlins being one because a lot of the guys are Marlins fans.
Yeah.
And of the 5 I put out, I got one player right, and that was the Marlins guy. So it's so hard to predict the MLB draft.
Yeah, no doubt. And just to touch up on the draft real quick, because I know you went live. I was with you. I thought the draft was an interesting one. That was a very interesting draft. Your thoughts? What were your thoughts on the draft? I mean, how did you feel about the draft picks overall? I mean, you don't have to talk about each player, but overall, do you think the Yankees drafted well? Obviously keep in mind they're always going to draft pretty low because they never really have like a losing record. So I mean, overall,
they
how did you feel?
did that and they lost their pick because of they're in like the second tier or whatever it's called. I got to do my work on Kilby. Was it Dax Kilby's the number 1 pick? I think it's Caden Kent, who's Jeff Kent's son.
Yes.
I think he can be good. I don't know if he's going to play short. He did play second last year with A&M. I got a couple of the pitchers I like. There was some surprises, not just for the Yankees on that, like the guy from Tyler Brenneman from UC San Diego, who went to. I was really surprised. The A's. I think the A's got the steal that like Marlins getting Iva Arquette, who was like the best college bat there, and he's a 6'5" shortstop. And the A's get Jamie Arnold, who lefty, who had a little down year, but like the arm angle, the action he's got. I mean, and unfortunately, the Red Sox and Baltimore had, like, when I put on, like, I still say Twitter. I still say Twitter. I put something out. I'm like, unfortunately, like, I really like the Red Sox and Baltimore's pick when they got Bonnie, they got Ike Irish. I was like, Boston got Kyler Witherspoon. They both had a really good draft.
Yeah, absolutely. I liked some of because with the draft, I liked some of the guys that they drafted. When I was looking at some stuff from highlights of Dax Kilby, I mean, to me, he makes more sense as a second baseman, I thought. And I like some of the pitching that they drafted because Yankees, generally speaking, historically, they've always done a good job with finding good pitching. That's just something that they've always done very well. And I like some of the guys that they drafted with the pitching. So I'm excited to see some of these guys that are going to be coming up. So
I mean, unfortunately, a guy I really liked they got last year was Thatcher Hurd.
Yep.
And he went to Maricosta High School. He went to school in Northern California, transferred to Maricosta. I got to see him. It's in Manhattan Beach, California. I got to see him right as his senior year there and scout him a little bit, and I was really excited to see him. Then he had the Tommy John, went to LSU. He was the number 2 or 3 at LSU with Skeens. Unfortunately, he got the Tommy John, so they do that. I do like they identify college pitching arms.
Yeah.
Just because you can get them up quicker. Because, unless you're drafting high, a lot of these guys are going to be back half starters or bullpen pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, I know you pay attention to the
or trade trips, which you always need trade chips.
Yeah, trade. Yeah, absolutely. The Yankees have a lot of those. I mean, I know because Yankees farm, they do get some criticism, but then at the same time, it's like teams are looking into the Yankees farm, asking about some of these guys. But kind of circling back though to the Yankees, and you obviously expressed some frustration with Volpe, and a lot of the fan base expresses frustration with Volpe, and I think a lot of that, and we were kind of talking in the back a little bit. I think a lot of that stems from when he first came up. I think he showed some potential in his rookie season. I think the biggest problem, though, it was like I was saying, the biggest problem was when beat writers and the media. I don't think it was the Yankees. I never heard the Yankees say it, but it was just beat writers and reporters that were putting this thing out there that this kid Volpe is going to be the next Derek Jeter. He's got the potential to be the next Derek Jeter. That was the big expectation. So, of course, fans bought into that. They wanted to ride that wave. Personally, I didn't buy into it. I was like, well, let's just see what he does. I'm a wait and see kind of guy. But I think that's the biggest disappointment right now with Volpe, is that amongst the fan base, I think it's just because he didn't live up to that Jeter expectation. And that's what the fans were looking for. I think the expectation on him was way too high, and I don't think that it was managed properly. And you look at Volpe now, this season, going into this season, I was saying this is a make or break for him. Personally, I was saying this was a make or break. This guy needs to show that he's a proven player. That first season, he showed potential. Second year, he showed some improvement, but it wasn't anything, like, whoa, this guy has made great improvement. He showed great potential in the postseason. And I thought, okay, maybe he'll ride that wave into year 3, but here we are, year 3. And he's not showing up, either with the glove or the bat, unfortunately. And yeah, man, I don't, but right now, and I'll ask this question to you, man, who replaces Volpe though, right? A lot of people want him sent back down. A lot of people want him benched. A lot of people are saying they don't want to see him, but there's really nobody right now to replace him especially internally. There's nobody out there. I mean, who do you get?
I mean, first off, I think I'm with you. I think Volpe showed a lot of promise his rookie year. I think the bat was going to be a little farther behind being a younger guy. But, you win a Gold Glove your first year. I think, and as you know, the New York media is the toughest media in all of sports. So if you're and I'm sorry, and I know Derek Jeter, yes, at his back half, he had his faults defensively. He wasn't the best defensive shortstop. But no one's going to be Derek Jeter. And putting that on a 19-year-old kid or anybody is never going to happen. This guy's an icon in New York, icon in sports. So I feel obviously he's reading that. But, he showed progression his second year hitting wise. Now I think he's reading too much. The bat is affecting his defense, but there is no internal option. There's nowhere to go. Peraza, I guess, could be one, but has to play third right now. There's no other option. You would hope Lombard Jr. would be the guy next year, but he's 19. He's young too. So would he be ready to play next year? I don't know. He's not even in AAA yet. So there is no option. You're just going to have to ride it out. The Yankees had options to get a shortstop with Seager, with Dansby Swanson, and they passed it up because they love Volpe. I mean, so there's nothing they can do. You just got to. My thing with Volpe is if he can get back to his Gold Glove or his solid defense and give me a 240 to 250, I'll take it because he was starting to hit better in October. He was looking good, and I think he's just reading the headlines too much. He apparently might be hurt, but I mean the short hop throws are killing him. But if he could get to 240, 250, fine, and just play solid defense because that's what the Yankees need. They need defense. They have enough power to get by.
Yeah, and the defense has been pretty piss poor, as of late, especially in this Blue Jay series. It's been pretty obvious. It's been frustrating to watch, but it's mainly the infield, and it's the left side of the infield. Really, I mean, it's been shortstop, third base. That's been the problem. First base is not an issue. I mean, Goldschmidt is Goldschmidt's killing it. He was a big upgrade this season. He's been, and at the price he's getting paid, it's a steal, especially for what he's doing. I like Jazz at second. Jazz's second base is great, but the shortstop, third base, it's been a bit of a problem. But again, as of right now, Volpe's he's not going nowhere. I mean, he's with the team. He's not going nowhere. I mean, you brought up Lombard Jr. Lombard Jr. is, I don't think he'll be ready next year. He's not even in AAA yet. Maybe if he makes the jump to AAA next year, maybe he could be a September call up in 2026, depending on how he progresses. So there's a lot of talk about him. But now, here we are, July 24th.
The ETA on Lombard is still 2027 for top prospects.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if he makes that jump, though, if he makes like such a big improvement, I mean, maybe do you see him in AAA in 2026?
Yeah, I would say, depending how he goes, definitely 2026. I would say probably majority of AAA. I know you're going to get the hype with him. You've seen him tear it up. He had a very good future All-Star game there. Mm-hmm. He played very good. I watched two of his at-bats, had a very good AB, got a walk and then stole second, and then had a nice double there. But, I mean, it's not the pitching is different, It's getting to that speed. So, I mean, Volpe's there. You're just gonna have to pray and hope he can figure it out. But there's nowhere to go. I mean, the only other option would be Oswaldo Cabrera, but he's probably not coming back this year. So,
no, not the way he fractured his ankle. That's you're probably looking at 6 months right there. So I can't see a scenario where he gets back to playing.
But if he does come back, they need him at third base.
Yeah, I mean, he's
as of now. They could use him at third base, but I mean, so it's just I think it's too much of playing because they have so much money on the books that they don't want to go out. They should have identified third base and just said F it and gone for it, and probably gone for Bregman. But they don't want to pay double the salary every time. Because, if they get Suarez, I don't know what he's at. If he's, making 10 for the rest, they're at 20. Well, I don't know what his contract is at. I haven't looked that up. But, I mean, they should have identified that because, in my opinion, the time is now. I mean, you're seeing with Aaron Judge, we're seeing one of the best hitters in the modern era. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the time is now. And for a team who just went to the World Series, who has World Series hopes again, and there's a lot of holes. But I will say, I probably get a lot of – the best thing that happened to the Yankees this offseason was Juan Soto going to the Mets. Because can you imagine how poor this team would look if they did have Juan Soto? Great player, but they wouldn't have got Max Fried.
Mm-mm. No, and that was my argument in the offseason. I don't get me wrong. I love Soto. I love what he did for that 1 year with the Yankees. I wanted the Yankees to sign him back. But hypothetically speaking, if they did sign him back, the pitching rotation was still going to be a problem, right? I don't think Max Fried would have happened. The defense in the outfield, I mean, would have been questionable. The defense overall would have been questionable, but the defense in the outfield would trading for Cody Bellinger was a huge upgrade. That outfield is so much better now, in my opinion. I think.
I mean, when I watch Soto, and I'm a big and we both follow baseball. Baseball is not like other sports, like football or basketball, where you're athletic. You could have poor fundamentals in football and still get away with it and have a good game. But in baseball, if your fundamentals aren't there, if you're not playing good fundamentals, it doesn't translate. And Juan Soto defensively, I'm sorry. I know he was like top 3 Gold Glove. I have no clue how that happened. He's not a good defensive right fielder. And you saw that in game 1 of the World Series where he had 2 massive plays that got Dodgers. He had that one down the line was Teoscar Hernandez, and he tried to catch it and went by. And then he had the one where, I mean, I'm a baseball player. So, I mean, the first thing they teach you when you're in the outfield is you feel for the wall. And then if you feel for it, you go back and field it here. He had caught it here, made a bad throw, and that set him up again. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but I will get, I mean, Soto owed the Yankees nothing. He'd been there for 1 year, like you said. He didn't know the Yankees anything, so anybody who got pissed off because he left, it wasn't like he came up through the Yankee system. Good for him. He got his money.
Yeah.
He did what he – and I won't complain. He got us the World Series. So we wouldn't have been there with – the Yankees wouldn't have been there if they didn't have Juan Soto.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Soto was necessary because they needed a bat like that in that lineup. They didn't have somebody like that to go alongside with Judge. I mean, and listen, when he signed with the Mets, when he made that decision to sign with the Mets that night, I was upset. I was a little disappointed. I'm like, man, this sucks. But then I woke up the next morning. I'm like, all right, it's done. It's over. Time to move on. He made his decision. I don't care. It's like, if he wants to go play for the Mets, let him go play for the Mets. He made his decision. Time to move on. What's plan B? And, the Yankees, I feel like, pivoted very well.
Solid plan B, because Cody Bellinger has been a savior this year, guys.
He's been great. Yeah, he's been making some excellent plays in the outfield. His bat has really come around. I know, there's been a few I know like the first month or two, April and May was a little bit rough for him. His batting average was under 200. I know the back was bugging him. He had that food poisoning thing. I mean, he had a little bit of a slow start, but now, his batting average is around in the 280s. His home run total is tied from last year with the Cubs. So, he's shown he's playing great with the Yankees. So, I liked the Cody Bellinger acquisition. That was a good trade. And the guy wants to play for the Yankees. He wants to be with the team. So, I mean, why not have that guy? And he's good with the bat. He's good with the glove.
Gold glove outfielder, and I saw him a lot with the Dodgers because I was in LA, and from his rookie year where he was a lot of power, his rookie year, he changed his swing. He still has a little loop, but it's not as severe. I love Cody Bellinger. I love him because of the defense more than anything. But also, even when Cody Bellinger was struggling, you saw him putting quality at bats together, working counts, working walks. Now, I mean, he couldn't buy a hit for that first couple months, but he was still putting quality at bats, getting RBIs. So, I mean, and as you know, in baseball, you could be hitting the shit out of the ball, excuse my language, and be, 0 for 10.
Yeah, no, you exactly. Sometimes it just luck is just not on your side. I mean, we kind of see that a little bit with like Ben Rice, right? He hits the ball hard, but it just doesn't produce into anything positive. The guy could hit the ball. He's shown that, but lately, like for example, right with Ben Rice, he unfortunately either lines out or pops out, or it's just the outfielders just are good and they are able to make those excellent defensive plays. With Cody Bellinger, I know I don't want to dig too much into it, but he has a player option in the offseason. Do you think he will exercise that player option, or do you think he will opt out and look for a contract?
See, it's tough. I honestly really hope he exercises it, but if he continues on the year he's having, why would he want to opt back in? You know, if he's batting 280 with his home run numbers, and why would he opt in at what 24?
Why 25 million.
Yeah, why would he do it? He could get more. He's still relatively pretty young. I really hope he does, but I mean, if he's like 282 right now. So I don't see him opting in if he continues like this. I hope he does because I love Cody Bellinger. I think he makes our team better. But I mean, if he's continuing swinging the way he is, he's obviously always going to bring the defense. I don't see it happening.
Right, because my thing is because when he was a free agent, of course that was the year when Boris had all his guys as free agents, and they couldn't. Some of these guys couldn't get a deal to save their lives, and Bellinger was one of them. Bellinger kind of signed late. He was a free agent, and he wasn't. I don't know what the negotiations were and what kind of money he was looking for, but he wasn't able to secure like a long-term contract. The Cubs eventually ended up signing him, but only for like a 3-year deal. But I mean, if he was to opt out, I don't. Do you see a team trying to give him I could see a team giving him a long-term contract, but paying him more than 25 though. I guess that's my thing. Because I see a scenario where he says, you know what, I'll opt in, and he wants to be with the Yankees. He wants to play for the Yankees. I could see him opting in, get paid that $25 million, and then prove that he has that consistency, and he's not just, it's not just 1 year where he plays really well. Like he'll show that consistency and then test the free agent market, and then potentially, get the contract that he's looking for.
I could see him opting out. And I mean, if Dane about Scott Boras, he wants to get the most money for his clients, and he's a tough negotiator, and it doesn't work out all the time. So I could definitely see him doing that, because I don't know if he's with Scott Boras, because a lot of guys left Scott Boras, like Jordan Montgomery.
Yep.
But I guess Josh Naylor just got acquired by the Mariners.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thank you for breaking that news there, Celia. So Mariners acquired Josh Naylor from the Diamondbacks. So there's some breaking news right there. And yeah, our friend Nathan is also breaking that news. And this is from Ken Rosenthal. So I wonder what
that's real then. If Passan or Rosenthal say something.
Yeah. Exactly. Or in the Yankees case, I mean, if you're talking Yankees like Jack Curry or whatnot, but yeah, Rosenthal and Passan. I mean, I'll look at those guys. I wonder what the Mariners are sending back to the Diamondbacks. That's what I'm curious about.
I mean, and we'll probably get into this. I hope they gave him a lot up, because that would deplete some of the top prospects. Because I mean, third base market is thin. Very,
yeah. So speaking of third base. I know you and I were kind of going back and forth there on
which is fine. Like going back and forth, I'm like, I'd rather get on here and speak it out. I can only like you probably know, I can only get so much of your thought across through just texting it or sending a tweet back and forth.
Yeah, and I'm glad you messaged me, because I was thinking of going live for the deadline at some point. I just didn't know when. I know I was like, I thought about, going, I wanted to, today was like, okay, maybe I go live tonight because, the Yankees are off and I can use a break from the play-by-play and all that, or use a break from watching the Yankees. So I'm glad you were able to jump on. You had the time, so that was great, and I'm glad I was able to do it. And folks, real quick, shout out to everybody in the chat real quick. I see you all in the chat. I see you all commenting, so it is greatly appreciated. And I appreciate Russ taking the time out of his evening to talk to us. So Thank you so much, man. But make sure you all hit the like button, hit that subscribe, and continue sharing this channel out. Let's continue growing out the strike zone. So, speaking of third base, so yeah, like I said, I know we were going back and forth. Obviously, third base is a bit of a hole for the Yankees, as it's clear as day. Eugenio Suarez, that's been the big name, right? I mean, there's a few names out there. That's been the big names. And before I continue, our friend Nathan is saying left-hander Brandon Garcia and right-hander Ashton Izzy are headed back to the Arizona Diamondbacks from the Seattle Mariners for first baseman Josh Naylor. So a couple of pitchers going back. That sources tell ESPN that's the full trade. So they get a couple of arms back. So, all right. Now, there was reports earlier, and I'm sure you saw it on well, I call it X, I'll call it Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't bother me. But that there are players or organizations looking at the Yankees prospects, the Diamondbacks particularly looking at Yankees prospects. You got to wonder if the Yankee or if Brian Cashman's on the phone with the Diamondbacks and trying to figure out if they're even interested in Eugenio Suarez. There's been reports saying that Curry's saying that the Yankees are not interested in Eugenio Suarez. And there's other folks, beat writers, coming out saying no, they're interested in Eugenio Suarez. What are you thinking? And shout out to my friend, our friend here, JB from the Back It Up Bench. How are you, sir? That's our Orioles friend right there.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Good dude.
Yeah, good dude, very good dude. I had him on a show. I've been on live with him a couple of times. So, but yeah, what are your thoughts though, man? On this whole thing with Eugenio Suarez. I mean, let's hear what you have to say, man.
So, I mean, I won't complain if they get him. Honestly, sure. I'm just and I think they end up especially with this Mariners thing. They got to pull the trigger on third. I don't think Vivas is if he can play Major League Baseball. I don't like his hitch and his bat. I think Oswald, Peraza. I think we held on to him way long, and like I've said on my show, being a guy who scouted these guys, do so much research on these prospects that they fall in love with them. So, like the Yankees have with Peraza, who we probably should have got rid of him when he was hot, but we held on to him. Like we held on to Miguel Andujar too long. I mean, these guys fall in love with their prospects, and you're seeing it. We had JB on there. He's an Orioles fan. You're seeing it with their guys. They're in love with their prospects. But my thing with Suarez is we have power. He's a subpar defensive player. And if you've been watching games, our defense has been a problem, and third base has been a problem for a long time with the Yankees. It has not been an issue we have really identified. And I say we, but I am no part of the Yankees organization. I love how everybody – I was like, we all say we, but I'm like, no part. I just say a part of the organization,
Me neither. Yeah, I don't have any connection.
It's been a problem for a long time. We've never really identified that. And I think defensively, my one issue is his defense is subpar. And I think that's the one issue with Suarez for me is he's not the best defensive third baseman. And I think we have enough power numbers to get by. I would prefer to rather have a guy who plays a solid third base and can still give me that 260 average. But I wouldn't complain because he's obviously a better option than what we have right now at third base. So I just don't know who we're going to give up. I really like, I've been seeing Schittlers has been offered or has been reported, been in there. I like him. I don't think we can give up ready arms. Guys who can make an impact because our rotation and our bullpen is very thin. So I just don't know with Suarez who we give up. I think there's still going to be a lot of competition for Suarez with the Mariners, probably with the Cubs, with the Tigers. So I I just don't know if I think our prospects are good, but we don't have the high level prospects as such as the Mariners and the Cubs and the Tigers. They have that they could get it. I will throw in a top 50, top 100 guy. We can't really do that because the Yankees have our top 100 guys Lombard. He's not going anywhere. And obviously, like we've spoken before, they love Spencer Jones. I love him too, but he's not ready. So I don't know who's going to be offered there, and if we can compete with those organizations prospects wise.
Spencer Jones has been killing it in AAA. I'm sure you've been paying attention to it, but he's just been absolutely on fire. As far
JB, I wish.
Yeah, I know. The question to JB from Back It Up Binge, pipe dream. That's all I'm going to say is it's a pipe dream. But I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy for saying this, but I see Spencer Jones as being a potential September call-up. The way he's playing, once they expand the roster.
I really don't know. Just because he just got up there, I think they might want to give him a little more. No clue on it. I don't know where he's going to play if he gets there. My thing with Spencer Jones is, yes, he's playing. Is he an MLB center fielder? I think he's more suited for the corners. And I mean, they do have Bellinger, they do have Dominguez, who I think Dominguez is probably more a center fielder than Spencer Jones. And that's more his natural position. But I don't know where he'd play, even if he got a call up.
I don't know. I mean, that's why the Yankees are in a very, they're in a very interesting situation with all these guys that they have, and how do you play them? I mean, it'll be the offseason will determine that. I'm sure. So when we get there, but third base. Look, as far as Suarez goes, I like Suarez, and as far as what he's getting paid this season. He's getting paid $15 million this season. Of course, if the Yankees trade for him, that would be prorated.
It'd be like 14 and a half end up being with the luxury tax, something like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like you mentioned, he's a subpar third baseman, but he would still be an upgrade with the bat. That's the biggest thing. He would be a big upgrade with the bat. I mean, better than Peraza, better than Vivas. There's no doubt about that.
100%.
100%, right? Defensively, it kind of goes back to what we were complaining about with the Yankees defense, especially at third base and shortstop. It's like you need that defensive glove at third base. It's really important in that corner. So that's going to help contribute to the Yankees defensively. So if it's not Eugenio Suarez, then you and I kind of talked a little bit about IKF. There's been a lot of the fan base who's been bringing up Brian Hayes. IKF would be another rental. He's not getting paid as much. He's probably just a little over $6 million, I think. He would purely be a rental. Question is, do the Yankees want to reunite with IKF? Because the first time around it wasn't great, and I'm not blaming IKF for it. I just don't think the Yankees. I just don't think the Yankees really did him any favors. I don't think he was playing out of position. But I think this time around, if the Yankees were to trade for him, if he's a name that the Yankees are considering, we don't even know if the Yankees are considering him. What do you think?
I mean, well, first off on the Peraza, I feel Peraza was playing solid third base until recently. Like, I think he was doing a serviceable job at third base for a while, and now it's starting to see it. But with the IKF, I'd take him. It wasn't like he was bad with the Yankees. He was playing short, moving from, had the Gold Glove year with Texas at third base, and then moved to shortstop which he is a natural shortstop. But, I mean, if you could get a guy at third base who's got Gold Glove potential, I don't know if I've seen any reports of them talking to IKF or but I mean, if they would go IKF or Ke'Bryan Hayes, who has more upside than IKF, I would take both of them. I'm also, even though we do have a lot of lefties, I take Ryan. Was it McMahon with the Rockies? I think his bat would play nice in Yankee Stadium. Another name I'm starting to get on is Edmund Rosario with Washington, because that wouldn't be a big. I think he's a rental. That wouldn't be a big prospect haul for him either, and he's batting .270 this year and playing good defense. So I think there's names, but as we know, the Yankees like that big splash.
They do, and
Suarez is a big splash.
Suarez would be a big slash, or would be a big splash. Sorry, not slash, splash. Suarez would be just that. I mean, you brought up Rosario. That was one guy that I've mentioned on a couple of my live streams. He would purely be a rental as well. He would be a lot cheaper too. I think he's only getting paid like $2 million. So, knowing, the things that Hal has said and knowing how Cashman likes to operate, I could see them going after a guy like Rosario. And the Nationals would probably be a good trading partner just because, they fired their manager and their GM. So, they should probably be sellers. There's a couple of guys I'd like for the Yankees to look into for the Nationals. I'm not saying that, the Yankees are probably they're going to reach out to teams, but I think they're only going to do deals with one or two probably. You bring up Ryan McMahon. Look, Ryan McMahon, I think defensively, I think he's great at third base. Again, defensively, a big upgrade over there at third base. Absolutely. He's comes with some years of control. I have to look up his contract real quick because I don't know if the Yankees want to take on that contract. I just don't, I don't know if the Yankees want to take on his contract. That's the other thing. His bat, though, he's a lefty bat. I mean, I think the Yankees need a righty bat. This is the problem. They have too many lefties. They need a solid right-handed bat. That's kind of where I'm at with McMahon.
I mean, he had 270s, but he's up to 240. He's batting a lot better now. But I don't think they've checked on him of all reports. And I hate all reports unless it comes from Jeff Passan, because the amount of Soto people putting out Soto rumors this offseason drove me absolutely nuts. So I was like, no one knows where he's going. Everybody's like, Red Sox, Mets, Yankees,
Yeah.
Dodgers are now in the mix. I'm like, is your name Jeff Passan? That's the only guy I care about.
Yeah, well, Passan also put out the news about the Naylor trade too. So Rosenthal, Naylor, Rosenthal, Passan. I mean, those are the guys I'm looking at. But third, I don't know really who they're going after or who they're going to look into. I mean, I'm sure they're talking with teams, or they're looking at names. I'm sure they have names in mind. They do have names in mind, but is it the names that a lot of fans are thinking of? Is it the names that we're talking about? And we've seen these guys go after players that we never even expected. So I ultimately think they will go after a third baseman. Who that third baseman is, at this point, who knows?
I think Suarez is probably on the top of their list. I think he's batting 252, 36 home runs, 86 RBIs. So you put that in the lineup. That makes that lineup deadly. His defense is subpar, but putting a guy who's got 36 home runs with Bellinger, with Judge, in front of Judge or behind Judge, behind Bellinger there, that lineup would be deadly. But I think they need to stick on defense and figure that, because that's what's killing them right now is the defense and is the big hole. But I won't be happy per se, because I wanted someone else, and I think they need to identify a more defensive third baseman.
Mm-hmm.
But put a guy who's got 36 home runs and 86 RBIs who can bat 250, I mean, that'd make that lineup very deadly offensively.
Yeah, and that's the complicated part, right? This guy could hit. He'd be another solid bat. I mean, there's somebody asking me that this question right here. I'll pull it up. This is from Brandon Lee, and shout out to you, Brandon. He's like, you guys can't play defense, have no true contact hitters, but you still want a power bat that strikes out and plays terrible D.
I mean, I'm with him, honestly. Like
I'm with him too, but his bat is an instant upgrade over what they have right now.
That's what I like. Even when we were talking on there, or when you're on deck for the live draft show.
Yeah.
When I read a scouting report and it was like, this guy's got gap to gap, good line drive contact hitter. The Yankees don't have that. We got a lot of power. I'm like, when a push comes to shove, I need a guy to put the ball in play. And that goes down to Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone loves the home run numbers. And as all Yankees know, how many times did we have to hear Gary Sanchez is in the lineup? Oh, but he could hit a home run. I'm like, yeah, he could hit a home run, but he could strike out 3 times too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could go 1 for 4, or he could go 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a ground out.
Yeah, I was never really a big Gary Sanchez guy. I know some folks were.
He can't. I mean, he's got a cannon behind the plate, but he can't catch a ball behind the plate. So it doesn't matter if he got a cannon.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So, who ideally for you then for third base, like who would be that bat for you? Who would be that guy for third base?
Isaiah kind of Falefa or Edmund Rosario. I think both those guys wouldn't cost too many prospects. I've seen the Suarez would cost you like probably Schlittler or shit. His name messes me up. Schlittler, yeah, they're very. A couple pitching prospects, probably maybe a salvage, a Rock Riggio, who a guy I personally really love because I scouted him in high school when he went to Thousand Oaks High School. He actually played with Max Muncy, who's now on the A's. They're on the same team, but I saw that guy at the underclass area code games in Compton, California. And most of those guys, when you're there, you're just trying to like show off your bat. He had one game where he stole 5 bags, and then to end his last season on third, he steals home. And this is like, oh, show me your bat, show me how much power you got. He's like, no, he's stealing bases, playing with his hair on fire. Really, like, I don't know. I'm fine if they trade him if they could get a guy, but for a rental, I don't know who they'd have to give up. Maybe who's the other? Why'd I jump to the Brewers? Selvage, Schlittler, a Cunningham, a Ben Hess, who I really like Hess too.
Hess is good.
But I like I've said, I think the time is now. They gotta go it. Their payroll's high. It's only gonna stay higher. We're seeing Aaron Judge, even though with his deficiency in the postseason, he's still. I think, in my opinion, if they got into the Game 6 of the World Series, if they ended up winning that game like they should have, it would have been the Dodgers. And I know because I got a lot of Dodger friends. They were like, "No, we don't want this to go back to LA because it's just like the momentum." And then you saw Aaron Judge starting to swing it really hot, starting to pick it up. So, I mean, I would not trade Rice or Trent Grisham at all. I love, but I just don't know who they'd offer. I mean, I think if you go for a Suarez, they're going to want a top guy. And are you gonna want to offer a top guy? Because it's not going to be Lombard. It's not going to be Spencer Jones. I don't think it was Carlos. Was it LaGrange, who's now tearing it up in Double-A, who's like 6? I just don't know who they would offer. I think there's going to be a lot of competition. I would be fine sitting in that second tier, getting IKF or Ahmed Rosario or Brian Hayes, a guy who's going to play serviceable, good defense and still be able to get you that contact. But I don't know. I really don't know. They have to make a move, but I really don't know where they go.
Yeah, I mean, if they were to reunite with IKF, as long as they put him at third base, I'm fine with that because defensively he would be an instant upgrade. Yeah, does he have that bat? No, but he can still hopefully, be a contributor in the lineup. Again, he's going to be a bigger contributor than what they have right now at third base, even with the bat. There's no doubt about that. But Ahmed Rosario would be the other guy I would want for the Yankees to go after. I actually wanted the Yankees to go after him in the offseason, but
I mean, IKF's 271.
Yeah.
24 RBIs, that's solid. Rosario, let me see what Rosario is.
But those are still better numbers than what they have right now in Peraza. So
150. Rosario is – where is Rosario? I'm trying to look up, and he's – Rosario's batting 270 right now. 310 on base, 426 slugging. On base is 310. So way better than anything they have. What the Yankees have at third base.
Yeah, like I said, Rosario would be that guy for me. I mean, if I know there's a lot of fans out there that want Suarez, but we covered as to why he wouldn't work.
I think he'd do great in New York, but. It's just if the reports are 5 prospects and Schlittler is the headliner,
I'm not giving up a bunch of rentals.
Who's now being a guy who's been thrust into the rotation, who's showing some promise. Our rotation needs that. Hopefully, Heel comes back to the same form, but he might have another rehab start. His outing was not good yesterday, so I don't. It's Ahmed Rosario. He was with Cleveland and the Mets, and then he's bounced around everywhere.
Yeah.
I think they'd both be good, but I don't know where they go. They have for a team who just made the World Series. The Yankees have got a lot of holes.
Yeah, and it's going to take more than just getting a third baseman for this team to get a World Series. There's other areas that they need to address. So, and
the AL's a lot. I don't think the AL's as deep as the NL is.
No.
But the top of the AL is very good with the Tigers, who that rotation's nasty. With now Houston, who every year I think this is the end of Houston, and they just find a way to, win and bring it back. Every year I'm like, yeah, it's got to be done for Houston. And every year they figure it out. And they're doing it with, a lot of injuries right now, with Pena down, with Yordan Alvarez down. I don't think their pitching staff's great, but, they're finding the way to win. So, the AL is very top heavy, and it's going to be tough. But, they got to identify a third baseman. Obviously is number one, but they need bullpen because, as we spoke before, bullpen has not been – going into the season, I'm like, hey, bullpen's a strength. And it has not looked good. And maybe that's because Fernando Cruz went down, who's getting a lot of work early, and it was very solid. But I'm hoping Yarbrough comes back and they can put him in that long inning role. And I think he'd be better suited for that. But they definitely need to identify bullpen piece. And, the reports are they're checking in on Dylan Cease. I'll take a pass on that.
Why do you pass on Dylan Cease?
I'm good. He's got like a 5+ ERA.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a pass on Cease. I think you got to give up at least a top guy for him. I think you go with going to the playoffs. Just go with the classic 09 3-man rotation. Give me Fried, Rodon, and hopefully Heel. Just go with the the CC, the Pettit, and AJ Burnett.
There you go. You don't think so during the deadline, because Yankees clearly they need pitching, and they're always going to look after pitching at the deadline. That's something that they always do. Right?
You can never have enough arms when you get into October.
Absolutely, facts. And I mean, right now they got some guys in the bullpen that are hurt. Right? You mentioned Cruz. I mean, Cruz he was a workhorse for the Yankees coming out of that bullpen. I was so happy when they had acquired him in a trade, and he was solid. When he got hurt, that's when I started to really get concerned with the bullpen when he went down. Yankees desperately need him back. So when it comes to starting pitching, do you see the Yankees? I mean, if not going after a starting pitcher?
I think Heel will be their deadline acquisition.
Yeah,
the Yankees. I think that's their deadline. I just don't think they're going to have the pieces to make a trade for a starting pitcher, if it be Alcantara.
Mm-hmm.
Or Edwin Cabrera with the Marlins. Marlins might not even be traders because they're sellers at the deadline because they're playing really high right now. But I mean, I think the Heel will be that. One of the reasons for me, and being a guy who loves prospects, that I wasn't happy with the Devin Williams trade is because of Caleb Durbin.
Mm-hmm.
And I know now, but he would have been our starting third baseman he would have been up there. He may not have been starting right away. He would have been our third baseman there. I wish they didn't give him away. So that guy's a grinder.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they did what they did with Durbin, though, because it was to get Devin Williams, and they packaged him with Nestor Cortez, because the thing is, Nestor Cortez had no room on this team. He just was. To me, it's just he did not have any room on this team. He was one of those guys that I didn't trust him going into the season in the rotation. So it was like I didn't really trust Nestor. So the thing is, these trades, they hurt. And, you got to give up something good to get something good. And I know, I understand where you're coming from. Trust me, I was not happy with Durbin being traded, but I understand why they did it.
I see all these guys, and obviously being a guy who scouted, I love prospects and love that side of the game, because it is a different side of the game from playing to coaching to scouting. You have to, everything's different. But even with the Spencer Jones, I'm like, I don't want him it's not a rental, but if you could package him in and be the headliner for like a Jose Ramirez, which won't happen because now they're playing better too. Yeah. I mean, I do that in a heartbeat, but I mean, it's also, being a guy, these guys, and like JB was in earlier, they fall in love with their prospects. And when it is the time to trade them, that their value is the highest, they don't do it. And then, because a lot of these guys don't pan out. A lot of baseball players don't pan out in Major League Baseball. They might have a 3 to 5 year career and be an average below, guy, and they're done. So, I mean, but I don't want Jones there because I'm not down for a rental for Suarez.
Right.
But I really liked Durbin, but I mean, I understand it. I love Nestor too. I think Nestor is a type of guy that is old school, that you don't have to throw 98 to 99 to make it to the Major League, to make it to MLB baseball. You can be shifty. You can have good off-speed stuff. And if you watch Major League Baseball, which I know everybody in here does, look at Tarek Skubal. And I've told everybody out, if you have a kid, a 12-year-old who's pitching, watch Tarek Skubal, because what is his best pitch? And this guy just is a changeup. Develop your changeup. I mean, and yes, he throws, hard, but his changeup is his out pitch. And like we see with Devin Williams, his changeup is very strong too. And like you saw with Tommy Kahnle, he threw like 56 straight changeups in October, and everybody's like, well, the changeup coming, but you still couldn't hit it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing with Tommy Kahnle, aka Tommy Tight Pants. Love throwing. Yeah, it was just changeup after changeup. I mean, it was a hell of a pitch. He kept getting folks with it, so he kept getting the opposing pitchers with it. But yeah, Ivan Menny. Yeah, we already talked about Taylor or Naylor, excuse me, traded to the Mariners. So I know they were also looking into Eugenio Suarez. Apparently, that's what's the report that's been coming out. Now, in terms of pitchers, there, Russ. I mean, obviously, Yankees need help in the bullpen. That's clear. That is clear as day. What do you think? What are there names that you want them to go after? Are there any specific names you would love them to?
I heard, and a guy I really like is the closer with Pittsburgh, who, but he is not control. He's not a rental. Let me get his name.
Bednar?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. If they could package him with the third baseman, but I mean, just give me a good bullpen arm and I won't complain.
Right.
Just give me a one or two bullpen arms and a third baseman, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I got a couple folks. One guy saying Bednar, no, thank you, and then Bednar would he's under team control for this season, and then he's got his final year of arbitration next year, and he'll be a free agent in 2027. There's a couple of guys that I've been that I want them to look into, and that there's a couple of guys from the Rockies. That's Jake Bird and Halverson. Those guys I feel like would be solid. Are the Rockies going to be sellers? I don't know. Historically, they don't sell, but those are a couple of names that come to mind as far as Yankees looking at bullpen arms. But those are a couple of names. Another name that I thought about, again, going back to the Nationals, and he would be purely a rental too, would be Kyle Finnegan.
Yeah.
Finnegan wouldn't be bad. I forgot what his numbers were, but I feel like under Matt Blake, though, he would thrive. So he's another name that I thought about. So I know you thought about Bednar. Are there any other specific?
He's got a 2.31. Bednar's got a 2.31 ERA and 35 appearances. So I mean, I don't know why there's no thank you for that. I take that in a heartbeat for my bullpen. I think Kyle Finnegan would be a really solid name. I actually saw a name today for a starting pitcher that's on the market, but and it was Dustin May. Would the Yankees take a shot on May? Because that guy had some high upside and was pitching really good for the Dodgers before he got hurt. But they might be willing to package him or trade him. Would you be down with the Dustin May and pinstripes?
Dustin May. Let me look up his numbers. Actually, I remember. Okay, this guy, know,
redhead.
Yeah. Red hair. Now I know who he is. He wouldn't be bad, actually. He would not be bad. What is his stats? I'm looking it up right now. 6-6 record. ERA is a little bit high, 4.73. He's got a whip of 1.36. But again, we know with Matt Blake, he would, he turns these guys that have like high ERAs and all of a sudden they're like pitching lights out. I don't know how he does it, but he's a wizard. How he does it, I don't know, but he could be a potential, maybe,
I mean, it won't happen.
It won't happen. No, but
I would. And Tovar from the Rockies is going nowhere.
He's not going anywhere. No, they extended him for a reason.
On the team.
Yeah, No, they extended Ezekiel Tovar for a reason. They're trying to. I mean, they're probably going to try and build a team around him. So I can't see. I'm not seeing Tovar go anywhere. Although I'll take Tovar over Volpe every day of the week.
Well,
Oh yeah,
that's going to have to be like an 8-for-1 with Lombard and Jones.
Yeah.
And every other good pitcher in the system.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give up so much for Tovar, but no, like the couple of names I've been thinking of for the Yankees, though, I thought about the two pitchers from the Rockies with Halverson and Bird. Those guys would be solid. Bird is still in his ARB years. Halverson is still in his pre-ARB. If the Yankees were to talk with the Rockies, I could see them trading Bird before Halverson, since Halverson's still in his pre-ARB years, and then Finnegan would be another guy. He'd be a rental, but I think he'd be another solid arm to have in that bullpen. I mean, the Yankees need to get a couple of guys in that bullpen. Zach Neto, and Edwards from the Marlins, or Xavier Edwards.
Neto's going nowhere.
Yeah,
nope. He's young. He's going nowhere. Xavier Edwards is a shortstop. So, I mean, I don't really think that's happening, because we all know Boone defends Anthony Volpe on everything and then blames errors on Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah, it's funny. Ken Rosenthal said this about Aaron Boone. I'm sure you probably saw it. It was on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
As far as what he says to the media versus what he says when the lights are off and the cameras are away. I mean, that's what matters the most. He's right, but it's like, I wonder what he is talking about with the players. What is he talking? What was that?
What's he thinking about when he sees Volpe? I'm like, maybe he sees some. I mean, the guy is a MLB player. Maybe he knows better than us, but I don't see it, and I don't think you're helping this guy rushing him out every day and having a bad game, and then as you know, in the New York media, you have a bad day, you're right there on the back page, or you have a really bad day, you're right there on the front page of the paper next morning.
Yeah.
But like we said, there's nothing the Yankees could do about Volpe. He's there, and that's what we're going to have to deal with. So you just hope that it's a deadline that they get the third baseman and get a couple. Third baseman, definitely. They have to. That's a must. The bullpen is, hopefully guys come back, because, like we said, injuries, but definitely need a bullpen arm. But third base is like a dire situation, because you can't have your third baseman batting 150 or playing subpar defense.
Yeah, no, they need to get a good third baseman. And I mean, as I've been thinking about it and talking about it here on with you, I think they need to go defense first. They have to go defense first. And if they're going to go defense first, that guy is not Suarez. That guy needs to be, maybe it is an IKF. Maybe it is a Brian Hayes. Maybe it is an Ahmed Rosario. They need to think defense first. McMahon would be that guy too. Ryan McMahon would also be that guy too.
I just don't think the Yankees can win a bidding war against a Mariners or against a Cubs or against Detroit either.
Yeah, these guys, they got a good form.
They got a good prospects.
Yeah,
that they could still deal. That it won't be an Owen Cassie, but I mean, like a Cubs who's like top prospect. But I mean, they have some really good prospects in all those systems, and I don't think the Yankees can handle go player for player with that. But if it's one of those three, I'm happy. But I'm just getting the feeling it's going to be Suarez.
You have a feeling it's gonna be Suarez. Okay.
You know,
I don't know why, but I'm on the opposite. I don't now.
I hope I'm wrong, and
Yeah,
I hope I'm like a baseball player. You're wrong most of the time, or 3 out of the you fail 7 times, you're in the Hall of Fame. I hope I'm wrong. I just all the reports I see, and I hope they're all wrong. But they're like, the Yankees have to get Suarez. I'm like, can we please talk about like Suarez's deficiency? We know he's a great home run hitter. And I'm done with the old adage of Yankee Stadium's not good for right-handed hitters. I'm like, it's 315 down the line and right and left field.
Right.
It ain't that big, but just because it's a porch and right. So, but I don't know. I'm just getting the feeling it's going to be Suarez. I hope I'm wrong on it, but I just got a feeling. And I'll be on the day before probably if Suarez is there. I'm going on Wednesday. I do Wednesdays, Sundays. I'm like, if I was thinking about going on live for the deadline, and then I had another show come up. I'm like, I don't think I could control myself because if the Yankees did nothing, I'd be losing my mind, banging the table.
Oh, you'd go Aaron Boone mode?
I did a game 1-2 recap, and this is like, and I'm by myself, and I'm literally like going full mad dog, yelling at Aaron Boone. Like, he makes no adjustments. I mean, like, he drives me nuts. It's just too much analytics. And if you've seen, like, yes, the Astros played a lot of analytics, but they did it hit. The Dodgers, who are very good for a long time before they won from like 2015 on, Dave Roberts played a lot of analytics, and then he had to change it up and go. Yeah. You got, especially when you get to go in October, you got to go with a little more feel, not just the numbers. I'm like, hey, I can't just stick to, I got a lefty matchup. I'm like, no, this guy's hot. You got to go a little feel. So, I mean, 40, 50% analytics, but especially in October, I think the Yankees play a little too much analytics.
Well, let's hope. Well, I mean,
I'm done with the Aaron Boone, like the whole, I'm going to get like last year, his whole thing where he's like, my big thing is I get tossed for the game. I'm like, this is getting like a circus, Aaron Boone. Like, that's his big thing. I wear a nice watch and I cuss the umpire out and get tossed. I'm like, can you make an adjustment and make a move?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know a lot of people want Aaron Boone gone.
I wanted him gone for a while again,
for sure. But the question is, who takes his place? Who's available?
One name I wanted really bad, which would have never happened, was Terry.
Oh, my man!
I would have gone nuts. Because if we're talking about a guy who knows baseball, and like I mean, first off, I got pissed when they fired Girardi after they made it to the ALCS. But the reason they did it is because he couldn't relate to the younger players. I'm like, Aaron Boone's not young anymore. He's older now. What is it relating to the young? He's an old guy. Francona is a baseball guy. Genius. And he went to U of A. So, that's my college team. So, I mean, I would have loved Francona, and that's why I'm high. I love what the Reds are doing. I'm like, you've got a good young core, but you got Tito. You got Terry Francona. You got a good manager.
I love Francona too. All right. Like, I would have loved for Terry Francona to manage the Yankees. That's also my guy as well. But again, realistically, who's out there available that is not managing a baseball team? Who is out there to replace Aaron Boone? Okay, let's just say, because I know a lot of fans want him fired right now. They're not going to find a manager to take his place. Osmus is going to take over, more than likely. So, but in the if offseason came around and let's say they fire Aaron Boone, who's available that could take his place? Like, there's no name out there. Now, a lot of fans are just like, they should have never fired Girardi. I was like, a lot of you wanted Girardi gone. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of fans that wanted Girardi gone. Now you want him back? I don't know. But that's the thing. Who takes over for Aaron Boone? Like this is my question, and I nobody really has been able to give me an answer.
Donnie Baseball, yeah, okay.
Don Mattingly, I don't think he'd be interested in managing anymore, and it's not just the Yankees. I just think in general.
I mean, it drives me nuts every time, and I try not to get into it, but I tried it because, like you said, it's the ownership loves him, Cashman loves him because he's a yes man.
Right.
So I mean, and who's gonna you? Francona would probably be the only guy I'd want. Would be better, much better than Boone out there.
Yeah, I would have loved Francona too. That was the guy. Like I would have taken him over Girardi. I would have taken him over Boone, 100%. Like I am a Terry Francona fan. You know, I know a lot of folks want to say that Girardi won a World Series. Okay, cool, but you know they didn't win anything from 2010 through 2017 either. So, you know, but I know Boone hasn't won a World Series either. Yes, he's taken him to the postseason. His postseason resume is not great. But you know, but again, who takes over for Boone? I know a couple of people are mentioning Jorge Posada, but I don't think Posada would be interested. Honestly, there's no way.
No way Buck Showalter's coming back either. He's done with baseball. He's done coaching.
Yeah, I can't see Showalter. I can't think of like any former Yankee players. Let's put it that way. I don't want to even think about any former Yankee players personally. I'm sure a couple of those guys may come to mind that might do a good job, but you know, none that I think will ever take over. But anyway, that's a conversation for a different day. But as of right now,
we're stuck with it. He'll drive you nuts, but we're stuck with him.
He's here. He's here. That's all there is to it. And that's all there is to it. He's here. So you know, if the Yankees move on from him one day, which I'm sure at some point they will, you know, after his contract is up, unless they say otherwise, he's here to stay. He ain't going nowhere, whether we like it or not. So, but again, that's a conversation for a different day. But we'll see what the Yankees do for the trade deadline. I mean, the news broke out of Josh Naylor being traded to the Mariners, so that's a major move. And now there's reports saying that they're also interested in Eugenio Suarez. Reports coming out saying that the Diamondbacks are looking to trade about 5 to 6 of their players. You know, we'll see. You know, we'll see what happens, and let's hope the Yankees can make some moves that's going to help this team win, and be successful for the rest of the season, and you know, hopefully get into the postseason and have a good postseason. But only time will tell. That's all I'm going to say. Only time will tell. So Yankees will be back in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium for a 3-game set against the Phillies. And then right after that, they got a 4-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays to close out the month of July. So we'll see what these next 7 games are going to look like for them. But July has been a pretty crappy month. You know, that's putting it lightly, but it's been disappointing. But we'll see what they do at the deadline. But Russ, appreciate you jumping on, man. We've been live for almost an hour and a half, so appreciate you jumping on.
Baseball.
Yeah. I know you love talking baseball. I can tell. But anything else you want to say to the folks in the chat? Let people know where they can find you. If you want to share that information.
Oh yeah. Well, NFE, I thank you for having me on. It was great. You can find me at On Deck on Finstock Sports Network on Wednesday and Sunday, 7:30 Wednesdays, 8 Sundays. And then, I mean, if you're a college football fan, College Blitz, that'll be more. That's on Finstock Sports Network too, with my boy Q, who you met with the draft show. That'll be more regular. We got to figure out a time once the season, but definitely if you're a college football fan. But the baseball Wednesdays and Sundays on YouTube, on X, wherever you stream it from, for On Deck, talking everything, all 30. So that's it. But thanks for having me. It was fun to talk a little Yankees baseball tonight.
Yeah, no, and this is a little bit more. Even though it was some things were a little frustrating to talk about, it was still better than watching a game and getting frustrated. So
I'm really frustrated now because the Blue Jays are just shellacking the Tigers right now.
Yeah. No, Blue Jays are they're on a roll right now, man. They're riding that wave right now. So we'll see how they do the rest of the season. But they're definitely a team I'm looking at, and they got a squad. There's no doubt there. So, but we'll see what happens for the deadline. Let's see what moves the Yankees make. I know all of us are awaiting for the moves that they're going to make. Are they going to make the moves that we want them to make, or what players they're going to go after? We don't know. I mean, we just truly don't know. But we'll see what happens. But again, Yankees will be back playing. So starting tomorrow was a night off for them, thankfully. So I think I know we could all use a mental break from that. But Russ, once again, man, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you all go check out Russ Morgan. All right, good. Knows his stuff. Clearly, definitely knows his stuff when it comes to baseball. Definitely a big sports guy. So appreciate him coming on and taking the time out. But I appreciate you all tuning in. And I appreciate all the support that you all have been giving to this channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers. You guys and gals are the best. So make sure you all hit the like button. If you haven't yet, hit the like button on the way out. If you're watching this on the rerun, hit that like button. It does really help the channel out. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Continue sharing this channel out. Let's spread the word. Russ, I'll love to have you on again in the future.
Definitely. It was fun.
We'll talk for sure. But everybody, have a great night. Enjoy your evening. I'll see you all tomorrow. And as always, let's go Yankees. We're out.
Yeah.